Zach is back with a HBO original review. Plot Against America is about an alternative history where Franklin D. Roosevelt doesn't win the presidential election. Instead, a man named Charles Lindbergh actually wins the election. He wins by using an anti-war platform and siding with the Axis powers, meaning Germany, the Nazis. And I find this idea of the president and the USA siding with Germany in World War II to be very realistic. It's realistic because America wasn't really trying to get involved in World War II until Japan bombed us and forced us into war. In most instances, going to war with another country is considered the immoral thing to do. I've played enough Fallout to know war never changes and all that good stuff, and you shouldn't go into war, and that's usually the immoral thing. So America not getting involved in the war and kind of siding with the people that, so we don't get run over by Germany or any of the other Axis powers, actually seems very realistic to me. And that's actually one of the cool things about this show, is that the main theme in my mind when it comes to the show is most bad ideas come with good intentions. What's interesting about the story of Plot Against America is that the perspective is solely from the Levins family. The Levins family is just a working-class Jewish family in America. Because it's from the perspective of the Levins, you actually don't get to see anything from the outside world. The only time you get to see little glimpses of the outside world is on the radio. That or like a TV, and that's the only thing you get. Other than that, everything that you see is solely from this family's perspective, and I think that's pretty interesting. It's just another layer of realism to the show. It makes the show very claustrophobic and almost like a horror movie. Because it's only from their perspective, you only get glimpses of the outside world through like the car radio or a TV, and everything else is just whispers and rumors. It has that kind of feel of mystery and the unknown. The things that scare you the most are the things that you don't really know. So it makes it feel actually very horrific, even though you're not really seeing anything in the show. I really enjoyed the Levins family as our main characters. There's the mother, the dad, the aunt, there's a nephew, there's the older son that's kind of like a teenager, he kind of acts like a bratty teenager, and then there's the youngest, which is, a little kid. Because they're so vastly different, you get to see different perspectives, and like from different age groups and things like that. You get to see from the perspective of a child, what's going on in the outside world, and, Nazis supposedly taking over. You get to see stuff from the dad, the mom being a working house mom, the teenager that's kind of just he's kind of a punk teenager at this point, the hormones are kicking in, things like that. I like that. I like seeing the different perspectives and different age groups kind of chiming into what's going on. But personally, my favorite character is the dad, hands down. He takes zero shit, and he's a headstrong, stubborn dude. So when shit starts hitting the fan in America, he hunkers down, he gets everyone in a group, tells everyone what the heck's going on. He just acts like a badass caring dad that just takes charge when he needs to, and I like that. It's kind of the dad that every dad, kind of strives to be. I feel like I want to be that guy in a situation like this. There's a great scene that sums up the dad character, and I thought it was like one of the coolest scenes. It was very, very subtle, but super effective and powerful. There's a scene where the youngest child does something really stupid and sort of dangerous. The dad gets him out of that situation, and when they're walking back to the car, the dad looks at his son, and he's about to hit him, like in the face, for doing something so stupid. But he stops right there. He looks at his son, he gets down on one knee, grabs him by the arms, and he looks at him, he goes, "This is not a game." And that's all he says to him. He just looks him dead in the eye and says, "This is not a game." He gets back up and just walks away. And then the son understands that his dad is just trying to take care of him, and that the situation that he's in and his family's in is very dangerous. He sees his dad walking away, and he walks up quickly and grabs his dad's hand. And that's the end of that scene. But it's really powerful, and it's such a good scene, and there's a lot of those little scenes like that in this show. I also really like how they portray racism in this show. In most Hollywood movies, it's usually like a white dude that is like some hillbilly or whatever, and he's usually just screaming some sort of racist word or whatever at the top of his lungs.
These movies, like the characters aren't even believable. Like they always have to have like that, the over-the-top, uninhibited white racist character, that guy, he's a guy like, he's supposed to represent all the white evil, He's like the dude they always have like screaming during the movie trailer. They'd be like, they were the first all-black swim team. Get out of the pool!
In Plot Against America, the racism in this show, 99.9% of it is very quiet and subtle racism. It's almost chilling how silent this racism is. It's very silent. And I like that because it's more realistic, and I feel like the show is going for realism. Most movies and shows, it's just really over the top, and they're trying to make everything very dramatic, which I understand that. But in this show, they were like, we want to try to get this right, and I could really tell. Before I give you the thumbs up on this show, let me go ahead and tell you a little something. In Plot Against America, there's not a lot of Hollywood-style antics in this show. What do I mean by that? I mean, nobody acts like a hero in this show, there's no big gunfights, there isn't any great escape. None of the family members in this show do anything spectacular. They kind of are just living in America during a situation. And that's it. This show is more about the calm before the storm. It's not during the storm. This is a good simile for the show. The show is sort of like the Cold War. Nothing really happened, but it was damn tense when it was happening. So if you're a person that likes like fast-moving plots, Hollywood antics, and more like of an action-oriented show, this show's not the show for you. It's very slow, it's silent, it's more realistic than a lot of other takes of, I guess you'd say, like, racism and kind of that World War II genre than a lot of other shows that I've seen. But if you want a realistic take on what a fascist government taking over America would look like, and you want to see what true racism would actually feel like when it's slowly seeping into society, this show is like perfectly on the spot for you. And personally for me, I really enjoyed Plot Against America. I like the charactcharacters, I like the nuance of the show, what it would look like, kind of the what ifs and things like that. It's very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and give this show a B+. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all of that YouTube business. Definitely subscribe if you like my content because I'm going to be producing more soon. Click the little bell for notifications. And until next time, you guys, see ya!